So you were campaigning in the last election, the election.
Yeah, it was mental.
Yeah.
It was. I suppose before that I never really realised the role media plays in the elections and stuff like that. They decide, they can decide who wins and who doesn't really. Like there was 17 candidates in the field I ran in, and I'd say most people could name 6 or 7 of them. You know?
Wow, we're talking about politics on the show. Everywhere. Thank you so much, as always. I'm your host, Chris Honors, and welcome to the Jury Request Show. It's one of Ireland's most creative talk show. Every week we bring you varieties of guests, topic, and also inspire you on the show. But today we have some 3 wonderful guests today on the show. Guests, how are you all doing today? All good?
Good.
Great, thank
Wonderful. Let's start with Garry. How you doing, my friend?
Very well, thank you. And
Tell us who
thank
you
you
are.
for having me on the show.
You're welcome, my friend.
It's great to be here.
You're welcome. So tell us who you are and what you do.
So I'm Garry Fitzpatrick, and I'm here with Extinction Rebellion.
Wow, come on, show some love, everybody. I love that energy. And also to my very good friend here.
Hi, Chris. I'm Darren Roe. I'm a co-founder of Displace Studios, a creative media production house in Dublin City.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is so good. And that's the passion.
And I'm Saoirse McHugh. I'm an aspiring politician with the Green Party, and I campaign on issues like climate breakdown and a different type of politics.
Wow, amazing. That's what we always talk about here. So stay tuned for more of the show. It's a Jury Question. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after this. One more time, everybody. Woo! Welcome back to the show, everybody. Woo! Come on, everybody. Woo! Thank you so much. This is what we do on the Jury Request Show as always. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. But today we have some special guests on the show. Show all my love for God, everybody. Woo! And also to Sasha, everybody. And to Darren, everybody. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Great to have you guys on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having
Good
us,
show. Thank you so much. Right, Sasha, let me meet you first. So tell us more about what you do.
So what I've found myself doing is I have almost by accident found myself I ran for election there in the European elections, and I'm thinking I might try a few more times, maybe run for the general election. I didn't get it, but that would have been beginner's luck if I did.
Well, you make an attempt. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You know, there are people who just sit back and say something, but they never do it. But there's no harm in you go and try again. Sometimes you try to learn more. The next time you're gonna go in again, you're gonna have your own way on how you want to do things.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So it's not a bad thing at all that you tried it. You know?
And actually how I ended up doing it was going to different politicians saying, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that, we should do this. It was always around climate breakdown or the environment, and Eamon Ryan actually said to me, well, why don't you run? And I'd never even thought of it, because I don't think you do think of it. You think, oh, they're politicians, they're
Very
different,
true. Very true.
and we're not. But the only reason I could think of not to was
It's there.
yeah.
And you saw it. It's just that you're not too sure if you, can I go in, can I not go in? Until someone had to say, hey, you can do this, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
And off you go. Let me bring my gentle friend in. Tell us about yourself.
So, as a founding member of Displace Studios, I just on a day-to-day basis now just record and mix audio for artists who come through our space and use us to help them kind of turn their ideas into CDs, into songs, into videos and stuff like that. Yeah, so
Great transformation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very good. Amazing. Come on, show some love, everybody. That's what we want to see. Let me bring my very good friend Garry in. Garry, so tell us about all the wonderful things you're doing. Whether you're talking about climate, you're talking about all the different things. Give us more insight.
So I'm representing Extinction Rebellion.
Yes.
And if you haven't heard of Extinction Rebellion, you've not been paying attention.
Very good.
So they are, it is a movement around the world, an international movement to tackle climate change. Mm-hmm. And the environment is something that I've been involved in for years. Mm-hmm. But I'll be honest, it's been a struggle. When Extinction Rebellion came on the scene, it was a breath of fresh air. Mm. So I'm very excited about what Extinction Rebellion has planned for the weeks ahead and the years
to come,
so, yeah.
the future. Yeah. You know, one thing I'm going to point is this. it's just the funniest part is that last week we had a wonderful guest on the show. Tracy was here, and she was talking about kid science and things like that, talking about climate change. So I'm surprised today we have you from, as a politician going into it, you're talking about climate change, you're talking about climate change. It's just the way things are really working.
Yeah.
So which means there's more awareness about this climate change. Maybe the show can become the next stage of the climate change.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'd love that, yeah, that'd be great.
Well, we'll see. So let me come back to yourself there. So, Saoirse, politics is what you want to go into full time, isn't it?
I think so. What I would really love to happen would be another politician would decide, right, this needs to be fixed, and all the current politicians would just start fixing it, and then I wouldn't have to go into politics because it's not that comfortable. You're having your photo taken all the time, and people are saying, "Did you say this? Did you say that?" And they're kind of trying to twist your words. So I don't think I'd like to be a politician, but if through politics is a way I can make change, then I am going to give it a go.
What kind of change you want to bring in? Let's go into that side sometimes because you're trying not to I don't want to be a politician, I want to be a politician.
Yeah. Okay,
put it this way. Forget about politics right now. What kind of change you want to bring in that you feel, you know what, this is where politicians have failed. I want to come, because I watched your interview on the RT when you were doing a debate and during the European election thing, and you really stand out. Even everybody we're talking, you really stand out. So what do you want to bring out yourself? So give us more insight.
What I would love to happen with our politicians would be for us to seriously look at climate breakdowns. The costs of not tackling it are astronomical, and there's not enough money in the world for it, that kind of way.
The world is rich, it's just that we don't want to put the money in there.
But for not the cost of not tackling climate change, we don't have there's no amount of money will stop the sea levels rising.
Very true.
And I'd love that to be taken really seriously, and I would love for our politicians to stop being kind of just facilitators for big business and start prioritizing people.
Very good.
Because they don't. They just kind of, pave the way for big businesses to do what they want, and they smooth things over. And you hear it said, we're pro-business. And it's like, well, but there are a lot of people who need you to be pro-people first.
Very true, very true. Come on, amazing, come on. That's what we want to see. So more changes. Let me bring Darren into, okay, talking about studio music, because I'm a big fan when it comes to the music. We have a show that does music and stuff like that, So how do you really, inspire people to get into music, because I know you do like sound and all the rest.
That's interesting. Like the studio itself has been a kind of organic process, and it kind of grew out of nothing, and we had to learn as we were going along. And one of the things that we've been doing lately is working directly with artists who come to us, and they need help or advice, and they basically live in the studio for once, to put it another way, for a week or two.
True.
While we figure out how to get their ideas out, and we work with them side by side creatively, So.
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of work, It feels like a marriage almost with the clients. At times,
I like that. Garry, let me come back to you here. So as an advocate, for the rebellion, it's a lot of work, like you mentioned, there's a future plan in terms of that. So what would be some of the agenda that you guys would really, put forward?
So the theory behind Extinction Rebellion is that peaceful protest is the way to change. It is the fastest way to change, especially for a topic like this, where really we need everyone on board.
True.
There's no time to fight with each other. So we have a protest on the 7th of October, an international protest in Dublin. On the 20th of September, there will be a protest. What Extinction Rebellion does differently from other organizations or activist groups is we are committing to disrupting government in any way that is peaceful. It doesn't need to be legal. There was 1,000 people that were arrested in London just because they were standing up for their beliefs, and the plan is to increase that even more. So eventually, when everyone's in jail, they'll have to start changing their tune.
You can't put everybody in jail. You have a lot of money for the taxpayer at the end of the
Exactly.
day. So
You get
I don't think the
expensive.
government wants to do that, you know. So Saoirse, let me bring you in. You also campaigning about climate change as well. What are the things you want to bring forward in terms of climate change as one of the big companies?
I would love to see, so currently in Ireland, a lot of our emissions reduction ambitions are coming from Europe.
Okay.
I know the European Greens are looking to have more ambitious emissions reductions,
Yeah.
but I would like to see Ireland take initiative and say, right, let's actually try and get to net zero by 2035, because we have a long, proud history in Ireland of fudging targets and not getting them.
Yeah.
So being more ambitious maybe might mean we'll just, fudge them a bit nearer, a bit sooner, but we
Sooner,
might
rather
get there.
than later.
Yeah, I'd love to see our agriculture kind of focus inwards a bit more and stop just focusing on export of
all
milk
the time.
powder.
We're going to really talk about that because I really don't get into that. Okay, let's go on a quick break, guys. Stay tuned for more of the show. We have Garry and also Saoirse and also Darren on the show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you. We still have Garry, Saoirse, and also Dan, isn't it? Yeah?
Darren, yeah.
Darren, yeah. I'm trying all the names every day on this show. Okay, guys, before we went to the break, we're talking about agriculture with Saoirse there. So, Saoirse, give us more insight about that. I know you tried to say something more. Give us.
Yeah, it's just in Ireland, especially, our agriculture has become focused on export.
Okay.
And we rely on so much import for our, to feed ourselves. And with, climate breakdown and everything like that, it would be great to see us begin to focus our agriculture on keeping farmers on the land, on reducing our impact that our trade has. There's huge deforestation in our trade lines.
Okay.
There's a lot of market flooding in different countries that we do with, cheap milk powder. And start to focus it on biodiversity and farmers and feeding people here to just reduce all the negative impacts that our agriculture has.
Yeah, but government will say they need more money. More export, bring more revenue into the country. How does that play?
But is anyone listening to that anymore? They're like, yeah, we need more money, but also climate breakdown. You can't deny it anymore.
Can I just say hemp? I mean, let's bring it back. Like, what is the issue?
It's true, it's true.
And if you want money for the exchequer, there's plenty there.
Yes,
If
okay.
it's tapped.
Well, I will need some at the end of this day, Anyway, let me drag you down in. So, at what age you actually start, music in general?
Yeah, well, I think I've always been creative. I've always been around creative people. It's the city kind of facilitates it. I think Dublin is a very creative spot, as evidenced by all the artists and musicians and that come out of here, And there is still a thriving music scene. There always is. We work closely with unsigned acts and unsigned musicians. We actually have a YouTube show called Live at Displace.
Very good.
Where we produce videos, live music performance videos for bands at our studio, and post it. So we work hand in hand with the.
Is it a lot of work to do different sections, isn't it?
Yeah. They're heavy. We get a lot of commissioned video shoots as well.
Very good.
So we do the live at Displace as kind of. I don't know what the word was. We invite the acts on.
Okay.
And we do it out of our own time. But yeah, they're heavy going, big productions.
Very good, amazing. Come on, show some love for that, everybody. That was really good. I like that because I'm really into music. If you watch one of my music show, I'm very much involved in that area. So when I heard that you're gonna be coming, I said, okay, why is it me on music show? They said, okay, no, bring it on the chat. Okay, look, we're gonna get it on the show. So thank you so much for coming in. Let me bring Garry in. Garry, climate change. I'm still going back on this for you guys. And like you mentioned, you guys will be doing peaceful campaign in October. What would be the main objective that you guys are gonna really focus on? Because at the end of the day, all people just know is about climate change, but people need more insight. They want to understand what you guys are talking about, because talking about scientists, talking about all the different things, like Donald Trump will say, oh, I don't believe in climate change, and Europe will say, oh, we believe in climate change. Everybody's have different vibes, So give us your own insight.
So, I mean, there's the technical demands of what is needed, and I think, to be honest, they're pretty well known. we need to stop flying, we need to stop driving cars around, use public transport, all that sort of thing. That's endlessly debated. The real like crux of the issue, in my opinion, is it's like we're in a nightclub that's on fire, and the alarm bells are ringing, but the club owner just turns up the music every time anyone looks a bit spooked. Just relax, relax, relax.
True, very true.
But Extinction Rebellion and members of the Green Party are trying to, tell people, hold on, do you not hear the alarm?
Yeah.
But we need to turn off the music and
just kind of relax a little bit,
let people hear,
Yeah, but okay.
So people need. Greta Thunberg, famous activist, she said to world leaders, "I need you to panic." And it's a scary thing to say, but that's the reality. People need to, panic. Now, I'm a belief in the Band-Aid theory. Just rip it off. The sooner we get it done, the sooner we can relax again.
Okay.
But if we drag it out, it's not going to be fun for anyone.
Very true. Sasha, you're smiling. Why are you smiling? Give us an insight.
Yeah, because I agree. I think it is. What we need is similar in reaction to how World War II was treated. They said it was an emergency. In months, entire economies were transformed to accommodate the war. And what we'll need is a similar, in terms of scale, as in our economies will have to be entirely restructured, and we can no longer just keep, plundering and taking from every part of the planet to make, plastic forks and phones, and we will, everything will change, and it'll probably change forever. I don't think we'll ever again go back to...
It's just like the internet thing that's happening right now. I don't know if you guys saw that last week, my team were like saying, "Oh, Chris, you have to talk about it on the show." Where people were like, what age you have to be, and
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw it online the other day, where you have to give your data, you have to change your face, they ask you a lot of information.
The age app, is it?
Yeah, the age app thing.
Yeah.
Take a long process to go explain it, Chris.
Yeah.
Sure. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say on that is just to tell you how our lives and system, our generation to come has been transforming from one thing to another. Climate change, I believe, is part of the process because, like you mentioned, they're using every different things from, natural stuff. They're not letting natural stuff to kind of relax. That would be some of your point, isn't it?
Yeah, as the constant use of stuff for profit is, I think, a lot of the real problem when you say it. It's that there's so much money moving around way up there, and it's in shares and bonds, and it's investing in this company that's drilling here illegally or whatever. And a lot of what's causing the problem is looking for more profit.
Okay.
You're cutting people out, you're cutting...
Yeah, Garry.
Can I just add to that? We're not looking to, bring people down to living in straw huts. We have the technology to maintain a high standard of living, and I mean that for the world. And we'll, once the transition has gone, we'll still have music, we'll still have laughter. The important things in life we will keep. The frivolities, they need to go.
They need to go. Let me bring the gentleman in. It's a Monday.
You'll still be here.
We still have you.
Well, it is interesting. As I was thinking there, it's like there's this overwhelming sense of doom kind of associated with the reality of climate change, and it's like I'm looking at myself like everybody else. We've got ambition, we've got hope, we've got drive.
True.
But these days, every ambition, every thought that we may have for the future is kind of bookended with, there's this element of chaos that's kind of destroying everything. So this isn't really a point to anything,
Yes, that's true.
That's my pension plan.
Yeah.
Don't worry, society won't exist. I'm not going to bother.
Oh my God, that's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's still good, you know, it's still
A
good.
healthy dose of fatalism.
You're right. You're definitely right. Okay, guys, look, we're gonna go on a quick break. When we come back, you know, I promise you guys there's gonna be a game on the show. Yes, so viewers at home, stay tuned for more of this because the game is coming on the show. I just can't wait to see what's gonna happen. Stay tuned for more of this. We'll be right back after this. It's Garry, Sasha, and also Darren, everybody. Woo! Welcome back, everybody! Woo! Thank you. This is what we do on the show. Thank you so much, guys. It's great to have you guys. Good fun, good chat. You're giving us more awareness of climate change, music, politics. I don't know, like, I know you mentioned there, Sasha, that, politics is not, but you really do want to go into it full time because I saw your debates and you did so well. You standed among everybody who were talking during the European, thing. So I think you should go for it.
Well, I think everyone should. No, honestly, as in what I was saying earlier, though, we kind of leave it to the men in the suits and we forget that we can all run for politics.
Chris Onas for a Taoiseach, come on.
Oh, me for the Taoiseach. Oh, come on, show some love for that. Oh, you can imagine that. For the first time you ever find the first black Taoiseach.
Yeah.
How is that going to look like? Amazing. Man,
Yeah.
good for me.
That would be brilliant, yeah.
Very interesting.
God.
I can't wait for that to happen. Anyway, guys, it's going to be the game. It's going to be amazing. So we're going to find out to see who knows what we do best when it comes to the game. Okay, very easy one, okay? The ones I'm going to ask you is something you already know before. So you're going to tell me if it's in Irish or if it's not in Irish. You know yourself, you have your pally there. So the first I'm going to ask you is, she was fair on the hair, mashed the fire. She was fair on the air, mashed the fire.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm going to say Irish.
Oh.
Never.
You got it. How did you know?
It just didn't sound like something
Very good.
It didn't have an Irish twang to it, you know.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing about this game, you know. I try not to put the Irish, accent into it. I want to make it, try to see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Good man, but you might not get the next one. Anyway, she couldn't chug the water.
Can you give that to me again in an Irish accent, please?
No, I don't want to give you that. If I do, you're gonna get it. Couldn't chug the water. Never.
I'm going to say never.
Never.
Oh, you can't just go the opposite.
Well, I've got a system now. Yeah.
He got it right, everybody.
We got it right, and you got the opposite.
Good man. That's good, but that's what we talk about here, isn't it? Yeah. So let me come to you, Darren, because you got the answer right. Yeah. So quick question for you:
Sure.
What age group would you work with in your studio?
Early 20s, I guess. Mainly, yeah. Like I said, we usually work with unsigned artists, unsigned acts, or the other end of the scale would be corporate clients and digital marketing companies. So
Right.
yeah, they're
Right.
kind of ageless entities.
Oh, very good, very good. Very, come on, show us a love for that, there for doing, everybody. And Garry, let me bring you in there. So, do you work full time for this, or you have other things you do aside from that?
I do other things, yeah.
Oh, very
This is purely my second job.
It's good to have a second job.
Oh,
keep you busy.
I'd like a second holiday. But
All right, let me ask you guys this question, okay? This one is a very good one. She owned a little sweet shop at the corner of the street. You will need to get this one really well.
I'm gonna say Irish.
Oh, Irish, come on, everybody! Sasha got it first. I didn't know, Sasha.
It was a really good guess. Is it like Van Morrison or something?
Yeah, you're right. Come on, everybody.
There you go, now.
Good one. See, I have to put it, okay, maybe I'll try before the end of the game, try to bring maybe a little bit accent in there, but I'll try, see. Actually, let me ask you guys this question. So which would be your favorite TV show you ever watch? I know Garry won't drink water to escape that, that's fine. Sasha, go for it. Your favorite TV show. You're on one show right now.
Apart from this show, I would have to say
The Simpsons.
I've
great.
held a part in my
Perfect,
heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd probably say South Park, the animated show would be
Cartoon.
Cartoon, yeah.
Oh, okay, very good. Gary, yeah.
Yeah, South Park is like a work of art. I mean,
Okay, that's fine. So since you guys didn't say the jury question, I'm going to ask you guys tough questions now. Oh, yeah, you go. I'm only messing. Don't mind me. Don't worry. Okay. Now, my next question, guys, for you is a very simple one, okay? It owns a pub, but the fella is a snob.
The fella is a snob.
we go never. I think we've all done this one.
Get it right. I don't know it.
You're still too ahead.
Yeah, Barry, how did you know? Tell us.
That's true.
I just listened to my heart. Something just told me.
That's very good. So, guys, politics, Saoirse, for you, tell me, did you say you want to go in full time now? I know you escape it to say everybody will go, but do you want to go into politics full time? Because if you don't go into politics in full time, let me tell you the truth, you can't really make changes that much. Because I always believe that those who want to make changes, they start a campaign from the outside, they get in. You have to from outside to make the noise when you get in. Now, I know people will say, oh, when you get in there, you don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's where it's so dangerous, you know? So
I would like to, as long as I could be effective and make a change. I wouldn't want to just, get in and become so concerned about getting my seat back again, which a lot of people do. But on that, I do think you can definitely make a change from the outside as well. Like every time you buy something, you're adding to what we all kind of accept and what we all, condone by voting for or by buying.
very true.
So you can make a difference every way, but this is just the way I'm going to try.
Very good. Come on, show us some love, everybody. We want to support you, and it's good to see, women like yourself, who take a stand, speak the truth, have vision and passion. You want to bring change, because we always complain, oh, women are in there, but it's good to see more women like you, and you're really going to inspire a lot of more women in the next future who want to go into politics. Like I keep referring back to the last European election, how you standard to really, speak out, things like that. I believe you really inspire a lot of women. Even my team, everybody were talking about you. Oh, look at her, she was so out there speaking. I know when you kind of say to somebody that, So we want to wish you best of luck. But before we let you guys go, there'll be one more question and one more game for you guys before you guys go. So this one is very simple. That's a lovely snow that my mother sent me. Correct, everybody. Come on.
Yes.
All right, guys, this is what we're going to wrap things up. I want to say thank you so much. Gary, have you a website people can find you on?
If you search for Extinction Rebellion, it'll come up. I think the actual, it's Rebellion Earth or Extinction Earth is the actual
wonderful.
website.
We'll pop that up there for you. Exactly as well.
I do. I have to rearrange it now that I'm not running for MEP anymore, but I'd say Twitter would be the easiest way to follow me, just Saoirse McHugh.
Please do so. And also?
Yes, at displacestudios.com, or find us on Facebook or YouTube. Just search Displace Studios.
Right on, guys. Come on, show some love, everybody. It's my guy, everybody. Well, Saoirse, and Darren, everybody. Thank you so much. This is how we do it. So, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I want to wish you guys best of luck. Keep in touch. Anything that comes your way, let us know. This is it. Thank you so much. If you guys are home, this is where we're going to wrap things up. I want to say thank you so much for following us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. Make sure you follow us what's coming up on the show next week. From our team, everyone, thank you so much for making the show what it is today. Without you, there'll be no show. And thank you to my viewers at home. You're watching us every week. Thank you for your comment. And if you want to be part of the show, please do get in touch. info@grequestshow.com. So record me away next week. Take care and God bless. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the Jerry Quest Show. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. For more behind the scenes, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you for watching. See you soon. Thank you.